place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. That's the Jamaica our leaders are working assiduously towards creating. In today's Jamaica Magazine, we share some of the ways they're doing just that. Welcome, I'm Theodore Henry. Also, we learn how the Child Development Agency, CDA, is equipping wards of the state to make the transition into the wider society. Plus, Mosquito Search and Destroy. We're on a mosquito reduction mission and we need you all on board. Please stay with us as we start things off with this important message.
All the people them with a Zig V, hold up your hand. Zig V in the Caribbean territory, but we now want that virus take set pan we. So make sure send no stagnant water inside and mash up all mosquito breed inside. More hole in the tin them where you dash way and change the water in your vase every day. No litter, dispose of your garbage proper. You know them the tin they we turn drain backer. Tour your community and tour your yard for suppress mosquito. We have figure hard dash we old tire turn over drum pan for prevention is the greatest weapon. And special shout out to pregnant ladies. Protect yourselves and protect your babies. Draw for your zapper and your mosquito spray. If you do all that we can to keep them away. For we know wars in vain.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 22. Jamaica's response to the introduction of the Zika virus is receiving high commendation from the Pan American Health Organization. A PAHO team was in the island last week and assessed the island surveillance system.
They have said basically we're doing, for the most part, what we need to do to create the awareness and to track the possibility of the virus spreading.
The health minister, who was speaking at a press conference on Friday, said PAHO had also validated the newly established testing facility for Zika. Samples tested at the newly upgraded UWI Virology Lab will be validated at a Center for Disease Control reference lab in Puerto Rico. Dr. Tufton disclosed that PAHO had pledged continued support for testing at the UWI lab and at the lab in Puerto Rico.
With all of this, the public relation, the sensitization, the ministry's drive, the support from PAHO, WHO, the lab that is here that allows now for testing within a relative short period of time. I am fairly satisfied that there is adequate preparation by the country and the country's ability to respond, to deal with and to respond to the Zika virus outbreak.
The health minister is urging persons to protect themselves against mosquito bites and to visit their healthcare provider as soon as symptoms such as rash and fever are present. 20 health workers from Cuba are now in the island to help fill gaps in Jamaica's health services island-wide. The medical professionals arrived yesterday and will be here for the next 2 years. They are among 90 workers due to arrive this year as part of a technical cooperation agreement between Jamaica and Cuba.
We have had a number of doctors and a particularly higher number of dentists and orthodontists, which we are particularly short of. And over the last couple of years, we have started to look to Cuba for this group. I'm also seeing where we should be having a biomedical engineer, yes, which is an excellent addition in terms of the maintenance of our equipment, our x-rays, our anesthetic machines, etc.
These professionals will be deployed to the regional health authorities. Plans are underway to keep students in the secondary school system until age 18. Minister of Education, Youth and Information, Senator Ruel Reid, made the disclosure, saying it formed part of measures to deal with the issue of unattached youth.
Because of the numeracy and literacy deficit, the majority of our children exited the system, some at grade 9 and grade 11. And then we talk about why we have this vast array of unattached youth. My dream has always been to ensure that no child is left behind. So all our students need to be engaged in the education system until they are age 18 and beyond.
Minister Reid was speaking last Thursday at the closing ceremony for the Partnership for Improved Reading Outcomes project. It's a joint initiative of the United States Agency for International Development and the Education Ministry. Still on education, students from 30 high schools across the island will be engaged in a live theatre production on the dangers of underage drinking. The project, dubbed The Movement, represents collaboration between the Education Ministry and beer company Red Stripe. Education State Minister Floyd Green says it falls in line with the ministry's policy against substance abuse.
We have been doing it, but we need support. It will take partnership to change culture. It will take partnership for us to have a different outlook and a different approach. And this sort of partnership that brings in corporate Jamaica, community, government, that is what we need.
The movement seeks to change youth attitude towards alcohol drinking and provide information on the causes and consequences of alcohol misuse. The program is also supported by the National Council on Drug Abuse and the National Parenting Support Commission. And finally, the Ministry of National Security has endorsed the Fight for Peace initiative, which uses sports to reduce youth violence. National Security State Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says the initiative will help Jamaica achieve Goal 2 of Vision 2030. The Jamaican society is secure, cohesive, and just.
This is one of the projects that will be so important in the larger growth agenda, because we have to start with small steps in order to move to the wonderful objective that we want for our country.
He was speaking at a function hosted by Fight for Peace and the Violence Prevention Alliance. Fight for Peace uses boxing and martial arts combined with education and personal development to realize the potential of young people in communities affected by crime and violence. 11 organizations in Jamaica have joined the initiative. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
Too many of our children are going missing. Mothers, fathers, please be vigilant. Get to know your children's friends and where they hang out. Tell them never to walk alone and take them to school if you can. Most importantly, let them feel your love all the time. And as you trot along, do the same for your neighbor's child. Our youths are much too precious to lose sight of.
Report cases of child abuse or to report a missing child, go to the nearest police station or call 119.
As we mentioned at the top of the show, Vision 2030 is our national development plan. And as we work towards achieving it, our leaders are ensuring the needs of our vulnerable groups are catered to. Among that group are our wards of the state. The government agency responsible for them has a wonderful initiative to ensure their smooth transition into society.
How will I move on? What will I do for a living?
Who will I become?
Not the easiest set of questions for any of us to answer, but even more so when you're a ward of the state with little to no familial support. But take heart, because a great wave of change is happening, ensuring that transitioning wards of the state are equipped to successfully integrate in society. It's thanks to the Child Development Agency, which has organized a National Exiting Care Expo. The second staging of the annual event brought over 800 wards in the 16 to 18 age group to the Jamaica Conference Center in Kingston.
We firmly believe in the concept of transitional support to you, our young people who have been with us over a period of time. These waves of change will create oceans of opportunities for you as you prepare for independent living.
And so the young people were offered a range of services from government and private entities, educational institutions, and more to help with their future development. Career and finances captured a lot of their attention.
A good rule of thumb, if you did not budget for it, you have no authority to spend on it. Financial independence, you can do whatever you want, money is not an issue. So if you want to get to that destination, you have to be disciplined and you have to start with making up a budget firstly and sticking to the budget.
When it comes on to self-exploration, you will examine who you are as an individual. Find out what is your personality type and and see whether or not the personality that you basically have will, enhance the career that you basically would want to venture into.
A motivationally charged speech from Sagicor executive Mark Chisholm was also well received by the wards.
Grew up in a garden, concrete jungle, 1 bedroom, 5 children, 1 mother. Don't know my father, know him later on. They say if your home broken, you are not broken. Your home might be broken, but you are not broken. My dream was to break, and that is what I'm talking about. You know what I want to break? The cycle of poverty in your families. When you look through the rearview mirror, what happened in the past is small, and what you're looking at through the windshield is larger. So the rear view is small, so your past is small. Even if something happened to you last night, and it carry with it negative effects, and you carry the negative baggage, and you carry it, and you carry it, and you carry it, you know what baggage is? It keeps you down. It keeps you down, it's heavy. Let go of your baggages. Every single person in this room have dreams. So when you get home, first place to start is write down what that dream is. Write down a goal and write down some action items. What it is that you need to do to achieve the goal. And I say every time you complete one of the actions, the action list that you're going through, tick it off and measure yourself.
Equipped, empowered, and ready to take on life are now the positions of these transitioning wards of the state. Ready to take on the waves of change, ready to swim in the oceans of opportunities.
You need to keep practicing the math. You don't have to keep swatting formulas. You'll know why the formula exists and it'll stay in your memory that way. If you want to do well in math, you just need to look at it as a challenge, not something that is challenging or annoying to you, but something that's pushing you to be better than you already are.
Did you know regular physical activity controls your weight, reduces your risk of cardiovascular diseases, reduces your risk for type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome, reduces your risk of some cancers, strengthens your bones and muscles, and increases your chance of living longer? Get active, get fit, stay healthy.
For our Tuesday Health Focus, we place in the spotlight PetroJam's annual health fair, the company's one-stop shop for all things health-related. Take a look.
Hundreds of patrons, both young and old, turned up. Their destination, PetroJam's 10th annual health fair.
This is our 10th anniversary. We've been doing it because we believe we need to give back to the community around the refinery, and it's a way of us just helping for persons to live a healthy and adapt a healthy lifestyle.
Health and wellness for a productive life was the theme, and for good reason, as PetroJam ensured that a wide range of health and social services were provided for its patrons.
So what we have done is also ensure that we cater the services to meet the respective needs of all the different patrons that are here. We have blood pressure checks, we have echocardiograms, we have even a masseuse that is here, we have counselors here. So it's all about wellness. Whether it's body, whether it's mentally, emotionally, financially, we have all the services here.
This is the first time we'll be having dentists here, and we thought that it would be important. We're supporting the universities as well, and the University of Technology now has graduated the first batch of 22 dentists, and we thought it would be a good way of showcasing what our universities are doing as well.
And patrons made good use of these services.
I came to get a checkup and many other things were available. I did a HIV test, blood pressure, pulse, and what else? I'm about to see the dentist too.
So I'm a pressure patient and I have high blood pressure, sugar and cholesterol. I have a blood pressure machine and I take my blood pressure and I have a sugar kit. So I take them regular at my house, but I come to verify it that it is okay.
Patrons also got to experience a new service that tantalized their taste buds.
Living Foods, it's any fruit, vegetable, nuts or seeds that is prepared creatively to make a wonderful dish that can be eaten. It is not touched with heat because heat actually destroys all the nutrients that comes. One of the things that really got to me today is that when I did put out the ingredients, a lot of the children that surrounded the table couldn't identify with them, and these are regular vegetables and fruits. So just to make sure that I could impart some knowledge on them and they love the food, it was great. How could I not do it?
To help PetroJam fulfill its healthy lifestyle mandate, a wide range of volunteers, including graduate interns, GSAT scholars, and other members of the PetroJam family, came on board to make the event a success.
I am PetroJam's company doctor, and it is always a pleasure to give community service, to provide health care for people who may not be able to access it or access all these services, easily in other ways.
I think it's a good experience. It's also always good to give back. I think everyone should appreciate the value in volunteering.
I think it is important to give back, not only in receiving, but to give somebody something. It's a pleasure. Like, it actually feels good to be a help to somebody.
Based on what we have seen in terms of the number of persons who have turned out today, we know it is something that is well received and something that we'll continue to do.
The health fair is very interested here because many of the senior citizens, they cannot find the money to go to the doctor nor to fill their prescription.
Most of the people that don't have a birth certificate, them come here and get it. Path, those who are not on the path, they come here and they get the path. People are not registered for a certain union, they come here and them get it. Bank book, a lot of them come here and get it. Passport, you come here and you get it. Thank be to God. Thank God for PetroJam. PetroJam, I thank you.
Thanks PetroJam for what you have done for us.
Keep up the good works and God bless you.
I want to thank my volunteers, summer workers, scholarship awardees, as well as just volunteers from within the community. So they've partnered with us over the years, and we just want to thank them very much for their services here with us today.
PetroJam Health Fair, 10 years and growing.
Make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean.
If you've been tuning into Jamaica Magazine or any local news for that matter, you would have heard of the Zika virus and the fact that it's transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So what are you doing to get rid of these pesky insects?
No dirty water, right? Clean out every corner and nothing dirty around there, no dirty pan or nothing. I saw the mosquitoes them move. Because if you keep them things, them are going to starve it.
What do you think we can do about it now?
It just clean up my house and make my sure my house safe. Like empty the pond them have in water and keep my garden clean.
Well, we try to clean up the gullies and the containers around the house and all of these things.
Spray the place and get some some chemical or something or tune in the water.
I always travel with repellent because I know they're going to bite me because they want fresh blood.
Just clean up your environment and make sure say clean. That means to say you hinder mosquito them from bite your children, them also bite yourself.
Them have to clean up the place where them they run because more time you have some local pan where catch up water and them go in it and all these things. So the people who were living at them the place have to clean up them place.
We did have the other one did name before. Oh God Almighty, man, he nearly killed me, man. Couldn't eat, pure pain. So might be this one I come go down even worse. Right now, I forget the repellent, turn on the fan to keep them blow, keep the windows closed and what have you.
I'm not planning to do a thing to get rid of mosquito. Mosquito have to be alive. A long time me born mosquito bite me long time I'm there same way before repellent come in.
We encourage you to be just as proactive as our friends out the road. Better yet, get on board Operation Mosquito Search and Destroy, the Ministry of Health's campaign to rid our communities of mosquito breeding sites.
Mosquitoes are undoubtedly annoying, with their irritating sound and stinging bites. But there are more compelling reasons we'd rather not have them around. Several species are carriers of diseases and a threat to human health. Of most significance to Jamaica is the Aedes aegypti mosquito, known to transmit dengue fever, chikungunya, yellow fever, and the Zika virus. Only female mosquitoes bite, doing so to get the blood they need for egg production. And therefore, only female mosquitoes transmit these viruses.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito is what we call a timid feeder. So she's easily disturbed when feeding. It means that in one night, she may feed on several persons before she takes her complete blood meal. Each time she feeds, she secretes that substance. And in the secretion of the substance, the pathogen is passed on. So in one night, one female Aedes aegypti mosquito is able to infect more than one person.
The female Aedes aegypti mosquito is a prolific breeder.
One female Aedes aegypti mosquito is able to lay up to 200 eggs each time she lays her eggs. So one mosquito can populate an entire area.
The lifespan of the mosquito is around 3 weeks, and the entire cycle from egg to adult can occur in as little as 7 to 8 days. Female mosquitoes are ready to mate within a few hours after reaching their adult stage, and males are usually ready within 24 hours.
This mosquito prefers cleaner waters for the female mosquitoes. She will lay her eggs in water, and for the Aedes, it will be water which is in and around the household.
So while there are a number of things we can and should do to prevent being bitten, the most effective way to prevent the spread of diseases by these mosquitoes is to prevent their breeding.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito is a mosquito that breeds in a containerized environment. They do not breed in rivers and drains, but they breed in containers that can be found in and around where persons dwell. So come with us and let us show you some of those breeding sites. This is a typical dish drainer that we find in most homes. And under most dish drainer is a tray that collects the water that comes off the dishes. And believe it or not, we have found breeding in several homes in these dish drainers. Yes. You can see that we have water that has settled. If this water does not evaporate quickly, it can lend itself to the breeding of the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So you not only have to empty the dish drainer, but you have to scrub to remove those eggs. This is the typical saucer that we will find under a plant. The rain has reached into fallen, it has collected water, and right now it is steaming with the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Do you have some of these in your home? Aedes aegypti prefers water that is a little bit on the cleaner side, and it's found in a shaded environment. So what should we do with something like this? It's quite simple. You need to throw away the water. And if these containers are not being used, you have to keep them turned down so they're not able to collect water. If you have them under your plants, we ask that you bore holes in them so that it will not collect water. Do you have these in your homes? We find these in a lot of hotels and business places. And we ask those persons, check these bird baths or any ornamental things like these you have in your garden to ensure that they are not breeding the Aedes aegypti mosquito. There are things like this thrown down in person's backyard. Old equipment, old furniture, old fixtures that are taken from homes, especially during construction. These are also able to hold water. And if they're holding water and sit for a while in the environment, they will also breed mosquitoes. And so we have found breeding in wheelbarrows, in old refrigerator, in old sinks such as this one. And we ask persons, if you're throwing out these, please ensure that they are positioned in such a way that they will not collect water.
Many persons, when they do have their drums, most times drums do not have any covers. So there is a mesh cover which is so designed to replace the missing covers. It is lightweight, and what we do is just simply slip it over, and the mesh is so designed mosquitoes will not be able to go through this mesh to get to the water. So this is the ideal way. One of the benefits also of this mesh is that even when rain does fall, water will go right through it. This is a typical example where this we have is a plastic drum and we have a metal cover here which is not designed for this. Whilst in some practice the intent is good, there may be occasions in which it does not fit or sit properly, and as a result you still have openings where mosquitoes can go right through and breed.
The mosquito is breeding right there in some very small places right around where you live. What is the habit we want you to develop? Once every week, search for and destroy the breeding sites of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
That's a wrap on today's show. Thank you for viewing the pages with us. We invite you to share your views by emailing us at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Plus, stay in the know by visiting our website at jis.gov.jm and check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm Theodore Henry. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of Jamaica Magazine.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.